Hello there, this is Dana Arcuri, author, speaker, survivor, and advocate from DanaArcuri.com, and today's topic is, do people love talking about dirty laundry? And so as a YouTuber, I've been here on my YouTube channel for over 10 years. I've come to see what topics are very popular, what goes viral on YouTube and on the internet, what topics are not real popular. I've come to see and observe and learn and understand as a YouTuber, the certain discussions and certain video messages are going to get a lot more likes. They're going to get a lot more comments if we're talking about things that are pushing some hot buttons. So, for example, if we are talking, say, about the narcissist, about the toxic siblings, about abusive people, about manipulators and haters, this seems to really get a lot of likes, a lot of followers, a lot of discussions, a lot of comments, a lot of shares. I noticed that my videos where I keep it real and I talk about my very, very traumatic experience with child neglect and abuse and narcissistic abuse and having toxic siblings and going no contact. These videos have become extremely popular. And while, hey, there's pros and cons on every subject, I'm a big believer on educating others. But while there is, the time and the place to educate, especially to help others understand narcissistic abuse or to understand that not all families are safe and gentle and loving, we also have to come to a place that we could know that in our personal healing journey, if we continually talk about, think about, and go round and around and around on these really difficult topics, we may not fully be able to move through into the recovery stages. And because I'm saying this, it doesn't mean you'll never heal, doesn't mean you'll never recover. But what I'm talking about today is that it really appears that people really do love to talk about dirty laundry. People love to hear about dirty laundry. This makes me think about the song by Don Henley called Dirty Laundry. So there's a couple verses in a song that says, kick 'em when you're up, kick 'em when you're down, kick 'em when they're up, kick 'em all around. And that's what it's like. That's what it's like. When we continually talk about the same thing, and trust me, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of topics on YouTube. Oh my goodness, there's even more. There's thousands of topics that get a lot of attention, that are very popular. However, how long are we going to talk about the narcissist? How long are we going to talk about the abuse? How long are we going to talk about the things that hurt us, the things that deeply, deeply traumatized us? How long are we going to perseverate on these subjects that might be hindering our healing pathway? And so my concern is that while many can relate to our stories, and I'm a big believer on breaking the silence. I'm a big believer. Come on now. You know me if you've been watching me on YouTube, if you've been following me for a couple years, if not longer, or you've been here for the long haul, for as long as I've been on YouTube, you've come to see that I do talk about those hard to discuss subjects. However, last year, I really felt something kind of energetically move through me. There was this spiritual download, and I felt it in my deep core of who I am, in my heart, in my soul. And I kept hearing the words over and over in my head. It kind of twirled around and around in my mind. What you resist will persist. What you resist will persist. And so, last year in 2020, I started sensing this energetic shift that I needed to not always talk about narcissistic abuse, toxic siblings, sexual assault, complex PTSD, trauma, etc., etc. I came to this new place of understanding that I personally needed a break from talking about these very painful subjects, that while they could get a lot of thumbs up, a lot of likes, a lot of shares, they could go viral, they could become actually my #1 videos, that it was actually doing me some harm. That by me constantly talking about, say, for example, my bad childhood, my painful childhood, my being betrayed by my birth family, my being manipulated, my being retaliated by them creating smear campaigns against me, by all of the horrible psychological, malicious abuse and bullying that I have experienced. I can't talk about it all the time because guess what? It ends up causing me more harm than good. Because then that's something that's going around and around in my mind. If I'm speaking it, if I'm hearing it, if I'm saying it, if I'm sharing it, if I'm talking about it, if we're then having communication via our comments on YouTube, okay, and this is going on and on and on for year after year, decade after decade, how are we ever going to heal if we keep talking about the same old, same old? There is a time and a place to talk about it. And I really believe in breaking the silence. And I really believe in calling it out. And I really believe in doing everything within our own power to heal and recover from our traumatic events in life. But I also am very, very clear, understanding, and totally at a new place with this new perspective that if I continually have week after week, month after month, year after year, videos that are sharing my rock bottom moments, I'm just having to go through it again and again and again. So think about this. That's like sitting in a traditional therapy's office, and that's like week after week telling your story to a therapist. That's like week after week, month after month, year after year, having to rehash over and over the pain, the betrayal, the neglect, the hate, the abuse, the malicious gaslighting, the malignant narcissist. It's having to rehash it. It's hurtful. So I wanted to give a little shout out for this video that we do not always need to talk about dirty laundry, that I really do want to have videos that inspire, that educate, that empower, that can motivate you, that can help you with some very realistic and practical tools along your healing journey. But it may not involve at all talking about the abuse or the trauma or the narcissist or that person who deceived you and who betrayed you and who aimed to hurt you and hurt you bad. And so we must know that sometimes we can perseverate. And so according to dictionary.com, perseverate means to repeat a gesture or response after the cessation of the original stimulus. Basically, to perseverate means to be fixated on something negative. Typically, it is something negative. Typically, it's not something positive or uplifting. It is something that's a downer, and that is more negative. And it's to become obsessed with talking about what happened to you, the pain, the turmoil, the discord, the discard. And while there is, again, I'm going to keep it real. Yeah, there's a time and a place to talk about it. Yes, most certainly it could be therapeutic at times with the right person in the safe space, someone who's confidential, someone you trust, someone who's going to sit with you, hear you, listen to you, and give you the ability to speak exactly how you feel about something and not judge you for it, but to be there and sit with you and to validate you and to give you this opportunity to express yourself in a very safe, positive manner. And while that is something I am totally for. Now, whether it is with a traditional therapist, whether it is with a certified trauma recovery coach, whether it is with just a close friend, someone who you know you can confide in and you know that it's going to be staying confidential and private with them, and they respect you and they love you and they're going to help you in your recovery. Now, that is a great thing, but yet I will not in the year of 2021 have every single video that's going to talk about the narcissist, or that's going to have every single video that's going to talk about something in regards to the toxic siblings or the betrayal or the gaslighting or how people cross my boundaries or how people have deceived you, how people have manipulated you, intentionally set out to destroy you. I'm not going to talk about that in every video because it's heavy, heavy stuff. And it can cause us to become stuck in a rut. It's not helpful. We need to move past the dirty laundry, people. We need to start focusing on what are some very doable, practical, and realistic tools that we can use as a coping mechanism to help all of us, including myself, to heal. And so today I'm just going to say a few things I do that help me heal. A few things I do is, if for any reason there is something negative that's kind of going around and around in my mind, and say, for example, if I am having this thought, old recollection of something painful that happened to me, and it's kind of like this trauma is like an onion, layer upon layer is coming to the surface. There are times I may not discuss it with anyone. Instead, I'll journal about it. I'll write about it. I'll express myself on paper. Maybe I'll go for a walk outdoors. Maybe I'll walk barefoot along the ocean. Maybe I'll go bird watching. Maybe I will actually do something, and I call this positive distraction. A positive distraction is a way of detaching from something negative that's going to bring you down. So for me, a positive distraction could be watching something comical and humorous, say on Netflix, watching a good show, watching something funny, watching a series. Another thing I do is I use essential oils, these therapeutic grade pure essential oils. There's so many different ones that are calming, relaxing, emotionally supportive. I love the one called Balance. I love frankincense. I love vetiver. I love eucalyptus. I love lavender. And there's just way too many essential oils, to share in just one video, but they are so therapeutic. And, whether you rub them on your feet, you rub them on your skin topically, or whether you diffuse it. So I have this wonderful self-care routine where every evening I diffuse essential oils. So it's my nighttime routine where I unplug. So technically, it can vary from day to day, but usually I unplug early in the evening. So I don't stay online late. I get offline very, very early in the evening because I understand that if I stay online, it's too stimulating for me. One, the lighting from my cell phone's too bright, too stimulating. Being online, whether it's just chatting on Twitter or people are on Facebook or people are on different forms, whether it's Instagram or wherever you are on the internet, a lot of people, they're night owls, but I have this strict schedule that is my self-care routine. And that means that I give myself this sacred space to rest, because rest means self-care. Rest means healing. Rest means that I am basically taking care of my soul. I'm taking care of me. So I turn the lights down low. I usually have like these lights right behind me. You could see these beautiful lights. I have these lights on, so it's dim though. I have my oils diffusing. I might read a really good book. I use essential oils. I may have taken a hot bath with Epsom salt because the Epsom salts are very therapeutic. They help us detox any toxins in our body. They have magnesium in them, which actually helps to relieve inflammation and pain, which is super therapeutic for me because I have fibromyalgia. So if you have chronic pain, you need to think about self-care. You need to think about doable ways to reduce your pain levels and your inflammation. And so I'm a huge fan of practicing herbal remedies. A lot of plant-based supplementation, holistic alternatives to increase my quality of life and to reduce my stress levels, reduce my anxiety, and to promote a better, sounder sleep. So when we talk about, what can we do for ourselves? Everyone's different. What works for me might not work for you. You might love, love, love taking a walk in the forest. You might love being in nature. You might love bird watching. Or for you, you might like using your hands. You might be an artsy, creative soul who likes to express yourself through drawing, through painting. Maybe you are really good musically. Maybe you like to write music or play music. And maybe music is actually very therapeutic for you. Maybe it helps bring you so you're centered, so you're grounded, so you feel happy and peaceful and safe. And it's just a great way to express yourself. Now, for someone else, it could be cooking. For another person, it could actually be something totally different, like gardening. I know a lot of people, they're great. They have a green thumb and they're very great and experts at gardening. So all power to you. Bloom where you're planted. Bloom where you are planted. And so today I just want to say that while I understand a lot of you really do love my videos that are on narcissistic abuse, that talk about things to do with like the toxic family, that talk about things to do with trauma and to do with being bullied, or I might chat about maybe sexual assault or complex PTSD or, many different subjects. Please know that I have to pace myself. I'm not asking for permission. I don't need permission. This is my channel. I do with it as I deem fit. And for me, I really believe that in this coming year, we need to take a little step back. We need to start focusing on ourselves. Instead of focusing on the narcissist, instead of focusing on the bully, instead of focusing on the person who hates you, who hurts you, who manipulates you, let's switch the focus up, people. Let's talk about you. How can I help you? How can you heal? What tools do you need in place to improve your entire quality of life? What very practical tools could help you reduce your anxiety, improve your health, and also give you peace of mind? What can help you? So the best thing and the kindest thing you could do in the comments is share with me how I can best help you without talking about narcissistic abuse, without constantly having these dirty laundry topics. Let's really try to push through always focusing on the negative, and let's really switch things up for the year of 2021. Let's get on a pathway of healing, health, and hope. Let's really focus on how each of us can take the first step to help our own selves to recover, to find a higher purpose in life, to find our voice, to advocate for ourselves, and to do everything that is in our human ability to help ourselves become better people through our healing journey. And so share with me, does the dirty laundry bother you too? Or do you love talking about things that are more negative? I know that there are pros and cons. Like I said in the beginning, I get it. But share with me, what can you do as far as self-care? As far as anything to do with mental health, as far as anything to do with something natural and holistic and helpful and gentle and safe, what is something you can do? And if you need any suggestions, I'm happy to give suggestions. I do not give advice though. So as a future certified trauma recovery coach, I don't give advice because that's not what we're about. We are basically your equal. We are your mentors. We are here to help give you wonderful practical tools and suggestions, but we don't give you advice. We're not going to tell you what to do. It's your life. So this is something where it is client-centered, and so that's why I want to be client-focused. So please share what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Like my channel, subscribe to my channel, visit me at danaarcuri.com, and let's keep the messages going, talk about what can be most therapeutic and helpful for us in the year of 2021 on our recovery journey. Thank you and have a blessed day.